G'day everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Aussie Investing Machine. In today's episode, I wanted to give you an update on two companies that I've recently spoken about. Those two companies are Brainchip and Creso Pharma. We've seen these two companies make some pretty significant announcements, so I thought it was worth revisiting them briefly and going over those announcements and seeing what it means for the company. If you find this video useful, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and as always, make sure to hit that like button to help the growth of the channel. I really appreciate your support. Let's start off with Creso Pharma, a company that I made a video about just a couple of weeks ago. I'll leave a link up on screen if you'd like to go and check that out. Over the past week, Creso has made some huge gains, so I thought it was worth talking about why those gains have come about and what the announcements were that fueled those gains. So this is their most recent ASX announcement, and it goes over some of the political changes we've seen in the US. In essence, the Democratic Party has won the balance of power in the US Senate. This outcome increases the likelihood of full decriminalization of marijuana in the United States. We know that this was something that featured in Joe Biden's campaign, and we know that it may only be a limited amount of time that the Democrats have the power in the Senate. So this is certainly some legislation that we could expect to pass certainly within the next 12 months. This is significant news for Creso Pharma. One of their wholly owned subsidiaries, Minova Medicinal, is currently operating in Canada. If there is a legislation change in the US, this subsidiary will certainly be able to take full advantage of the new laws. This is a statement from Creso's non-executive chairman, Adam Blumenthal. The recent election result is a historic moment for the cannabis industry in the USA, and these developments leave Creso very well placed to capitalize should cannabis ultimately be decriminalized in the US through passing of the MORE Act. So whilst this result delivers no tangible results for investors in Creso Pharma, it certainly does change the scope of their future outlook. As I mentioned in my other video, we know that Creso needs to secure a number of large deals in terms of cannabis distribution in order to go profitable. We've seen their stock price lift significantly off the back of this news, but I'd exercise some caution because we don't even know that this bill is going to be passed just yet. Certainly, if we do see the decriminalization of cannabis in the US, we could expect the Creso stock price to surge even higher. Anyway, that's something to think about. I'd like to know your thoughts. Make sure to leave a comment below in the description, letting me know what you think about Creso Pharma. So let's move on to the next company I wanted to talk about, which is Brainchip. I made a video about Brainchip now a couple of months ago, and we've seen some material developments for the company that have seen a surge in the stock price once again. The two key bits of information that we'll focus on is the NASA Early Access Program and the Akita IP license agreement. We'll unpack each announcement and determine what it means for the company. The first announcement talks about Brainchip's engagement with NASA. Under this agreement, Brainchip will provide NASA with the Akita Early Access Evaluation Kit. NASA will use this Early Access Kit to determine whether or not Brainchip's Akita technology is suitable for their spaceflight program. Commercially, this deal is nothing special. NASA will only cover the costs for Brainchip, so this is not really a profitable venture. Obviously though, if NASA does decide to use this technology going forward, it could be quite lucrative for Brainchip. So certainly the results of this trial with NASA will be key for Brainchip's future growth, and if there is a positive development coming out of this, it could be massive for the company. The second announcement from Brainchip talks about an intellectual property license agreement that they've got with Renesas Electronics in the US. This agreement allows Renesas to use Brainchip's technology on one of their system-on-a-chip products. Similar to the NASA agreement, Brainchip will provide support and services at an agreed fee that covers Brainchip's costs. Over the first year, this support and services provided by Brainchip will be used to help commercialize this Akita licensed product. Unlike the NASA agreement, there is some further commercial opportunity for Brainchip built into this deal. Brainchip is eligible for royalties for ongoing sales over a certain sales amount with this agreement with Renesas. There is also an option for Renesas to engage Brainchip for software services on an ongoing basis in the future. So this is positive for Brainchip, and it could be one of their first commercial deals that is successful. Brainchip's CEO, Lou Donato, calls this market validation of their Akita product. Whilst this is true, I think that commercial validation will be the next step. What's great is that Brainchip has secured 2 key partners. What we're yet to see though is the commercialization being successful. I think we need to watch their next investor presentation very closely to see if they give any guidance on when they are expecting profitability from one of these programs. One thing is for certain though, Brainchip, I believe, are in a much better position than they were when I created my first video on the company. If you'd like to go back and watch that, I'll leave a link up on screen. Has any of this recent news triggered you to invest in either Creso Pharma or Brainchip? I'd love to know your thoughts. Drop me a comment below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.